This is Nathan Kang. Hopefully you're able to hear me. I'm sorry, but I'm battling a cold, and today's the first day I was able to get my voice back. Hopefully I'm able to contribute to this week's discussion about grant proposals. Now, for this week, I was taking a look at the Charles Koch Foundation, and I was looking at what grant proposal ideas I could submit, and I was really interested in the idea of a conference. And how is this conference going to relate to the Charles Koch Foundation? Well, I was looking at the different categories under grant proposals, and I was able to find the subject of immigration. And under immigration, Charles Koch Foundation really has three main priorities about research and education. Number one is policy designs that propose systemic innovations or means of reforming, improving, or otherwise making our current immigration system more efficient. Number two, openness to immigration grounded in a shared understanding of mutual benefits, dispelling the false choice between immigration and economic prosperity or public safety. Number three, research on how immigrants contribute to the American identity and cultural evolution in the 21st century. So what is my grant proposal idea? Well, the grant proposal idea is having a conference of Korean American immigration history. So that ties in with their foundation's goal when it comes to immigration, but also it ties in with American history. Now, before writing this proposal, I think it's important to study, number one, the foundation's purpose and see if your grant proposal aligns with it. But second of all, to do some research to make your grant proposal stand out and make it powerful. So I was able to find two resources that I think will help me, probably help you as well. And the first resource is entitled Winning Grants Step by Step, the complete workbook for planning, developing, and writing successful proposals by Tori O'Neill McElrath and Meme Carlson. And it proposes different ideas and also gives you samples of what kind of things you could have for a successful grant proposal. The second resource is a book entitled Developing a Winning Grant Proposal by Donald Ulrich and Nancy Stroop. And it gives you several important reminders and elements that you need to have in a grant proposal, like your budget, like your purpose, what's your goal, how you can achieve that goal. And so those are two great practical resources that you could use to write a successful grant proposal. It's one thing to have an idea, but to actually clarify it and make it very clear to the foundation, I think is just as important as just as having that idea. So for this, I can't add everything into this discussion, but hopefully I'm able to within the next 2 minutes here. But for the conference of a Korean American immigration history, I think it's a great idea. But number one, what is the purpose behind it? Well, the purpose is to show, align with the Charles Koch Foundation of how Korean American immigrants have contributed to society and also American cultural evolution in the 21st century. And also how that is important to today's immigration, because it is definitely much more difficult to immigrate from Korea than it was even 30 years ago, my parents' generation in the 1970s. So how that can contribute to that? So this conference will not only bring history to it, but also bring people to come together, collaborate, and bring ideas of immigration policy that will be instrumentally important. And I think the Charles Koch Foundation will find it very helpful if they're interested in this specific subject. I would bring the Korean American Historical Society from Seattle, Washington, to come down to help with this, to put together with this. The finance committee needs to be put together for the budget proposed idea. I think about several speakers that we want to have. Maybe the first Korean American lawmaker, Jae Kim, who's from the Riverside County District, and he's able to come in, maybe be the keynote speaker or something like that. Several other people. Where we have this conference, I think about UC Irvine, which is where a lot of Korean American politicians are residing in. Two of them right now in the U.S. Congress from that county. UCLA, another area which has a large Korean American population. So much different ideas that go behind it. But first thing first, what is this going to contribute? It's going to contribute into research and also education when it comes to Korean American history, and then also a proposed immigration policy that could come out from this conference that will be important to immigration policies for the United States, especially when its relationship with South Korea, perhaps even in the future with North Korea, and to understand the dynamic between that. So I think that will be helpful. So this is the first time for me to hear grant proposals. I'm really interested in this, and I'm excited about it. So that's my contribution for this week's discussion board.